allow me to start off this video with a question. Now that Final Fantasy Tactics The Ivalice Chronicles has been announced to come out on all platforms, where now do you stand when it comes to the Final Fantasy IX Remake? Were you always in the boat of it coming out? Are you a bit more optimistic that maybe we might see it sooner than later? Or you are still in that camp of, nope, it is not happening? Let me know in the comment section below, because we are going to be again talking about the Final Fantasy IX Remake. So with that all being said, what is up guys, Jen here, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. Now if you want to support the channel, please consider hitting that like button, and if you want to stick around for some more Final Fantasy content, then hit that subscribe button. And at the end of all this, if we don't get Final Fantasy IX Remake, that's okay, because there's plenty of games out there, and thanks to our partners at Instant Gaming, you can get plenty of games at incredible prices. Games from the original Final Fantasy IX that you can go and mod, to more recent releases like Elden Ring, Night Rain, or the fantastic Expedition 33. You can check it out using the links down below, and we also have a giveaway, so you can have the chance of winning any game off the website using my giveaway link down below. Not only does this support the channel, but it also saves you money, so happy shopping. So Final Fantasy IX Remake. I did a video a couple of days ago kind of going over all of Final Fantasy and what we can expect to see. Big news coming soon. And I would like to think that I was on the money when it came to Final Fantasy Tactics. I said that we're probably going to see it this week and it's going to release this year, and I kind of had a big window. I was aiming for the end of the year, around winter, just to fill in that final quarter of the financial year for Square Enix. But I also did say that I could see it coming out before Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake around the September window, of which that's where we got it. So now when we look at the infamous Nvidia leak when it comes to Square Enix games, one remains, and that is the Final Fantasy IX Remake. And I'm going to be retreading a couple of points that I made in that video when I was talking about news for Final Fantasy, and that's that I think that we are going to be getting an announcement for Final Fantasy IX Remake. It's going to happen, and I think it could happen at Summer Games Fest. It really could. It's a good space for it to happen, get its announcement, and, you know, maybe see more news about it next month in celebration for its 25th anniversary, and then slowly market it at going into 2026, because I firmly believe that it is a 2026 release for Square Enix. Now if it doesn't turn up at Summer Games Fest, that's okay. I don't think it, I'm like really 50-50 right now when it comes to that. I do think we are going to hear about it within the next month, and it's going to be exciting freaking times, because this is a beloved Final Fantasy. I know a lot of people want Final Fantasy VIII, but I'm sure that light will shine one day. But Final Fantasy IX, I think that we get that announcement and then we go onwards to 2026. Now, I want to kind of talk about what I would like from a Final Fantasy IX Remake and what I think it's going to be. Don't worry, it's not going to be multiple parts, and it's not going to follow the traditional path that Final Fantasy VII Remake followed. I know that's a lot of people's worries. I've seen it in many comments and many videos that I've done about Final Fantasy IX Remake. I think this is going to be a true to form remake. It's probably going to be around the AA kind of effort when it comes to this. So you're looking at games like Trials of Mana and the recently released Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven. I'm not saying that art style in particular, but the amount of effort that went into that. You know, those games got voice acting, they got new perspectives on an old game, and they are quite beloved by people that have played them. And I think 9 can follow that trait quite well, because Final Fantasy IX, I feel, and I don't know if you guys agree, is probably the most true Final Fantasy for me when it comes to Final Fantasy. But if someone was to ask me, can you point me towards a game that represents Final Fantasy, I would say 9, but I know that with 9 you need more context playing the older games because it pays tribute and respects its past, and you can certainly tell it's Hironobu Sakaguchi's baby. Now, speaking of Hironobu Sakaguchi, he's been around, lurking around Square Enix recently. You know, he has been buddy-buddy with Yoshi P, and he convinced him to bring Fantasian to consoles, and that's where that partnership was formed, and we finally got Fantasian on all consoles, which was nice. I really like that that game and I do recommend it. So he's lurking around, and if he gets wind that maybe his favorite game's getting remade, I wouldn't be surprised if he oversees it. We already know that Nobu Uematsu has done some new music for Final Fantasy IX, re-recording Melodies of Life, and then I think it's like the Melodies of Harmony, or the Song of Harmony, or something like that, Layers of, I don't know what it's called, but there is that Timeless Tale vinyl that's coming out with newly recorded English and Japanese versions of Melodies of Life, and another track from Final Fantasy IX. So he has been revisiting and retreading ground. Now, I don't think he'll do all of the music for Final Fantasy IX Remake, if it's a thing, but he certainly is going to oversee it and probably have the chance to do some of his most favorite tracks from that game. I just think a lot of things are falling in place, and I'm trying to keep a kind of structure to the video without going all over the place, but there's a lot of things that do just make sense. The whole anniversary website is a complete thing at the moment. I know it's mainly merch, but we're getting a prequel book, and the figurines are based on different designs. We've got new art by the original artist from Final Fantasy IX. The original voice singer has re-recorded Melodies of Life. Like, they're bringing a lot of people back just for, if this just ends up being a simple merch celebration, that's a big effort, and you do need to question why didn't they do this for Final Fantasy VIII, and if this ends up being because of a Final Fantasy IX remake, you'd understand why they didn't do it for Final Fantasy VIII, okay? But back to just what I want from it. Give me some locked camera perspectives, give me a bit of freedom with the camera as well. Just let me experience Final Fantasy IX in a new way. I always have the old one to go back to, so when they do go back and do a remake, I do like changes when it comes to things graphically or the way things are presented. The story, not too fussed, but I do like experiencing my favorite games in a different way, and I think Final Fantasy IX is going to hit that. You're going to have that same feel as Romancing Saga 2 and Trials of Mana. It's going to be very familiar, but you're seeing it in a brand new perspective. Just the idea of walking through Alexandria just in 3D is amazing. And I know a lot of people were like, well, no, I want the pre-rendered backgrounds. And yeah, I would like them too, but I wouldn't mind them pushing out the boat just a little bit. I want turn-based battles. We're going to get turn-based battles. I want to be in control of my trances. I think we're going to be in control of our trances. I can't wait to dive back into the ability system once again and see if they've added or enhanced that just that little bit more. I can't wait to see the way this story is told through cutscenes and voice acting. It's going to be an absolute masterpiece. I think it's going to be incredible. I think they're going to be treating this as like a AA budget game, but I think this is going to do incredibly well for them because I think it's much wanted. Looking over Reddit posts and my YouTube comments and just the general vibe when it comes to browsing social media, people want it. They want it to be true to form, and I think that's exactly what we're going to get, and we are going to be cheering and cheering away until it releases in 2026. So I would love to just gush about it even more, but this is just kind of a video because we've got a big event coming up today and the big anniversary is coming up shortly. So I wanted to cover all bases and see where everyone's vibe is now that we got Final Fantasy Tactics. Do we think we're getting Final Fantasy IX Remake? And do we think we are getting an announcement imminently? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to visit Instant Gaming when you get the chance because it supports the channel. And until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.